Welcome to Across the Desk, where we discuss entrepreneurship, small business, and everything in between. Hello and welcome to Across the Desk. I'm here with my guest, Karen Bradbury from the Christopher Leadership course. And you will hear me say project, and we both know I'm going to say that.
That's okay. That's okay.
But welcome, Karen. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome.
It's one of my projects anyway, so you can call it a project.
You know what? And Marianne, you and I just met today, but Marianne D'Alessandro, I met through networking. And we came together and we're talking about her send out cards business and her virtual assistant business that she's doing. And she brought up the Christopher Leadership course, which I'd never heard of. And we were going to try and host a workshop here at my office. And that didn't, unfortunately, go. So that's why I thought, hey, we'll do a podcast. We'll talk about this because it's a really cool organization.
It's a great course. It really is.
It is. And so you and I started talking beforehand, and we're gonna backtrack a little before we jump into the fantastic part of the Christopher Leadership course, because you're one of the facilitators.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to learn a little bit about you, so that when people come to the course and they see Karen Bradbury, they're like, I know her. So tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I've been teaching the course for 15 years, and I do work full time. So this is volunteer. All of our instructors are volunteer. I am a controller for Roadsart Dental Lab in Hamilton. And so I've been there for 25 years.
Oh, at Roadsart?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. That's a lot of tea.
It is a lot of tea, yeah. But this is my passion. Public speaking is my passion. It's something that I feel everybody should do. We started talking about how you got involved with them. And you mentioned that once upon a time you were a wallflower. Yes.
And then this very enthusiastic person came into the office. And as you put it, he had drunk the Kool-Aid of the Christopher Leadership course. So tell me a bit about that experience.
Okay. It was the founder of our company, Henry Roadsart.
Yeah.
Great man. And he was always an inspiration to everyone. And he was the kind of person that...
You're saying was, so is he no longer?
He is deceased, but he was the kind of person that always brought the best out in everybody and always gave everyone kudos. Always. He would never take credit for anything himself. He always would give everyone credit for anything that they did.
Right. And
he took this course. In fact, we hosted it at our workplace, and his son took it as well. And at the end of the 10 weeks, he came into my office and he said, I've got a course for you. This is right up your alley. You have to take this course. You are just going to love this course. And he was right.
Was he calling you out as a wallflower? Is that what he was saying?
Well, I guess he knew me better than I knew myself.
Yeah.
And as a result, I became an instructor very soon after I took the course. And it was a great way. We actually often will invite students to be instructors because we're all volunteers. And if you do well in the course, we often ask a person if they would like to be an instructor. We give training for it. And it's a great way to improve your skills and strengthen your public speaking skills is to be an instructor.
Well, and you will, of course, I've taught medical office administration for 2 years, and you have to have 5 years in the industry in order to teach that course. So you will have drunk the Kool-Aid as well. And it's really easy to be enthusiastic at the front of the room when you've had the positive experience that you had, and then you're building on the positive experience that Mr. Roadsart had. So that's really easy to get your students enthusiastic.
Absolutely. And when we invite you to be an instructor, we don't throw you to the wolves because we teach in a team, actually. You'll have 5 instructors.
Oh, is that?
So you learn on the job training, right? And we take it very slow. So the very beginning, you would go through a training program. We do it twice a year. We do a training program in January and September for the instructors.
Okay.
And with your first course, we would give you very minor assignments. So get your feet wet a little bit, feel more comfortable in front of the room. But the entire course, you've just taken it. So you're very familiar with the material.
Yep.
And there's a lot of coaching from your fellow instructors and a lot of support.
Which makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Because even though you've now taken this 10 weeks to be empowered and overcome fear of public speaking or what have you, there's always going to be opportunities where you need some feedback or some encouragement or something, which is fantastic. So we were talking about the fact that you've been with the Christopher Leadership Project. See? Dang it.
It's a course.
I know it's a course. Right? It's a 10-week course, not a 10-week project. So you have multiple roles Like, you're so enthusiastic and passionate about this organization, which is amazing. You're not just a trainer for people coming in to take it. You're also a trainer of trainers.
I'm the treasurer as well.
Yeah.
I use my accounting background to help the organization.
You're a CPA.
I'm a CPA as well. So I've done that for 5 years now. I've been the treasurer.
That's fantastic. So it's a not-for-profit. So it's we'll jump into a little bit now of the about the organization.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about the organization.
Well, the Hamilton Christopher Leadership Course is one of the oldest operating courses of the Christopher Leadership Course. It is a national course. We teach it all across Canada.
Right. But
the Hamilton area Christophers have been around for 60 years. We're actually coming up to our 60th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, this year, actually. So it's
good for you.
For a long time. I know. I haven't taught it that long. But it's been around for 60 years.
You are so well preserved. Look fabulous. Well done. So that's 1956. I have very bad math skills.
Actually, it was 57. So next year is our anniversary year. Yeah. So next year's our anniversary for 60 years. Yeah.
It would be so interesting to talk to somebody who is there a history around, like, anywhere about the variety of people?
Well, a lot of our instructors have been around for a long time. A lot of our instructors have been there more than 30 years.
Wow.
And I'm sure he could speak on it. Anybody wants to. He's actually takes registration. So anyway, if you want to register for the course, just go online to CLC Hamilton, Frank Sergi. And Frank will give you the absolute history. He's been doing it forever, and he's fabulous. He's my mentor.
There must be such change. I mean, we talk now about the demise of social skills. And I just graduated in 2012 from Sheridan. I got my postgrad in corporate communications.
That's great. Good for you.
Thank you. Woo. Not a plug for that, but I was in a team, and everybody on the team, other than me, was like 25 and under. And they were fantastic. I had a great team. But we'd go to the cafeteria, and we'd see all these students sitting around, a table much like we're sitting around, buried in their phones, not talking to one another. And I can't help but wonder if having a course like this, I mean, they're going to need that. Like, it's now gone from, I think, being a choice for personal development and overcoming challenges that you have, to now we're going to have to undo the damage done by phones and texting and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. How are you going to get your message across?
When you're so used to,
Absolutely.
You can't see me, but I'm looking down at my hand.
Right? A one-on-one interview. Are you going to feel comfortable sitting across from somebody and giving them your message, selling yourself, telling them all about yourself and why you're the person for that job?
Without going LOL and YOLO and OMG.
Yeah. You have to have those communication skills.
And the ability to look somebody in the face.
And feel comfortable doing it.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's going the way of the dodo.
Right. And that's what our course will give you.
So one thing we also talked about, so we're jumping around a little. So, it's 1953 it says here.
Well, maybe I have my numbers wrong. Well, the course itself, but in the Hamilton area, I believe it's 1957.
I have the national one. So,
yeah,
sorry,
that would be the national course, but Hamilton's been around for a long time.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So it says here, spread across the country from Vancouver Island to Cape Breton. That's incredible.
Yeah. And there's an annual general meeting every year, and people get together from all over the country. And
all the trainers and facilitators.
Absolutely. And they have their meeting, and they talk about, promotion and changes in the course. And it's a great way to meet other instructors and see what other areas are doing, because each area is a little bit different. We have a standard manual that we use, but sometimes the way they present the course is a little bit different from area to area. So it's always great to get together.
So it's geo-specific, potentially. Yeah. Which would make sense, because you're going to look at the demographic of people in the area. And if you have a high percentage of executives or what have you versus a high, blue collar, you're going to need to adjust for that. And I say that with respect, because I'm white collar, but my husband is a millwright and electrician. So that's really interesting. So it must be, I'll have to talk to Frank, because I would be fascinated to know the change since 1953 or 57 of what people have dealt with, or has it
It really hasn't changed very much, other than
fear is a fundamental.
Yes, our second level course, the advanced presentations course, is a little different because we use a lot more different tools, right? We use computers, we use PowerPoint, but a lot
didn't do that in 1962.
No, we didn't. We just use flip charts and overhead projectors.
Oh, those are so fun. I used to
use those anymore.
But they're fun too.
Yeah,
I had to use those when I was teaching, and it wasn't. I taught 13 years ago. Holy moly! No, sorry, I'm having a moment. 10 years ago. And I had to use an overhead projector. We didn't have the technology like the smart boards and all that kind of stuff.
Well, people still use whiteboards. You know, if
I
you
love
don't
them.
have anything, you use a whiteboard.
I love them. I have them all over my space here. So volunteer, facilitator, trainer, treasurer. That's fantastic. So the history. So do we know why this came into being? Like, who was the
you know what? I don't have the history.
No,
I don't go back to that. But that'd be a Frank question.
Okay, we'll have to have him on here another time.
Yeah,
and we'll figure that out. So moving forward, then, what kind of? You had mentioned that the course takes place at McMaster University.
That's one of our locations. We have several.
So
we
let's
run
talk
it
about
in
the different
Oakville.
places. Yeah.
We run it at McMaster University. We often run it at my workplace, right downtown Hamilton.
Oh, nice.
So we try and make it available to people and easy to get to.
Yes.
We have run it in Brantford. Sometimes we run it in Grimsby.
So if people were interested in the course and it wasn't available in their area, could they contact the Christopher Leadership course and say, this is where I am? And
yeah.
So
well, and we could hook them up with another area, say Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many areas that have courses. If not, it's not our course, then I'm sure there's another area that's close to them they could take the course in.
So what usually prompts a Christopher Leadership course to start in an area?
You mean a location or?
No, like you say, so we're standing in the middle of Stony Creek. So how does it spring up?
Well, the Hamilton, CLC Hamilton would have the Stony Creek area.
Right.
So if there was, right now there's no Niagara representative. So if somebody who has taken our course decided, you know what, we really need this in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
They could approach the Lumen Institute, which is our national body, and let them know that, we would like to start a course. And all they need is to put some instructors together and contact the organization. I'm sure they would set them up with
get a location,
charter, and yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And we talked to before that sometimes they're held in churches. But that has more to do with availability of space. It's a non-denominational, non-religious.
And we're nonprofit, so if we can get inexpensive space, we'll take it to keep our costs down.
Yeah.
All of the instructors volunteer their time, but we have costs if we have to rent the facility. Yeah. We have material costs that we have to buy manuals.
Right.
There are training costs when we have to train our instructors. So we do try and keep our costs down for our students to keep it at a reasonable price. It's $200 for 10 weeks, which is very reasonable.
You can't get that.
No, but it's because it's run by volunteers.
And I'm a long-time volunteer myself, so I but that's incredible. Like
it's very good value for what you get.
I'm doing I'm the event coordinator for an event in June called Spark the Change. And it's a 2-day full, it's a lot. It's $489 with the early bird, and 10 weeks for $200.
Yeah.
And when you look at the course outline for the level 1, I mean, did you have a moment to sort of chat about the process? And we had started to discuss that before. You made a really interesting point about a lot of people come to this because they're afraid of public speaking.
Right.
It's holding them back from something.
And you first have to have courage to take the course,
which is a huge step and
hurdle.
Kudos when people do that.
Yes.
So you look at it, but maybe people are looking at going, oh, that's a lot and what have you. But you made a really interesting point about the fact that it's all introduced in a gradual, comfortable way. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah. I know we've had students say, I don't have to talk, do I? You're in a public speaking course. Yes, you will have to make presentations.
Chances are you're going to have to open your mouth.
Yes, but we make them feel very comfortable. So it's a very gradual process. And the very first night, the only presentation you have to make is you have to introduce yourself and tell us a few things about yourself and why you're here.
Right.
So everyone stands in a circle, so you're very comfortable. It's not like you have to stand up in front of the crowd. Everybody is standing, and you only have to talk for a couple of minutes. Yeah. And you're listening to everybody else's stories as well.
You should know who you are.
Right. And then we do a few fun exercises like remembering names. So we introduce some skills that are very practical that you can use every single day in your life, whether it's the workplace or at school. So throughout the course, we have some warm-up activities and just little skills. Icebreakers, yeah.
Gotcha. So what happens? So after that first night, then you had mentioned that
the second night you do a reading.
Yeah.
So again, something's very easy. It's already written for you. You stand up in front of a group. But we always, the week before, we always instruct it first. So we always give you all the skills that you're going to need to do an effective presentation in reading. And then you have an instructor that does a demonstration. So we never expect you to do anything that we wouldn't want to do ourselves. So we always
that you haven't prepared them to do.
But we say what we'll do the presentation first. Mm-hmm. First, we teach you how to do it. Then we give you an example. And then the next week, we expect you to be able to get up and do it, mm-hmm. but in a very non-threatening manner. And then we always give feedback afterwards, and we try and keep the feedback as positive as we can.
Right.
But if there's a weakness, we address it in a very positive way.
Right? Well, and that's what people are there for.
Absolutely.
Right. Because the fear of public
you want to
speaking,
know.
Exactly.
Exactly. How can I improve? So
that's the goal. Yeah. One would hope anyway.
And then the next time they come, they're going to do an object talk. So it's like show and tell. So you're going to speak with something that you're very familiar with. Mm-hmm. And just by holding something, it's almost like having a teddy bear. It makes you feel empowered, right?
I'm trying to remember show and tell. I don't. You know what comes up for me is romper room.
Well, there you go.
Chick with the mirror.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you build in a lot of fear cushions, if you will.
Yes, we do.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. And just having a team of 5 instructors who have different teaching styles that you can relate to. Yeah. You're always going to be getting feedback from a different person. And when we take breaks, you have an opportunity to chat with the instructors. Mm-hmm. If you have any personal issues that you want to talk to specifically about your presentation, you can talk to the instructor and get one-on-one coaching.
Wow. For $200.
Yeah. We have a passion for this. We all love this. Crazy. We're very enthusiastic about this course, and we're believers. We drink the Kool-Aid. Right?
Well, you mentioned that you, at the beginning, you mentioned that you struggled with public speaking before Mr. Rosert came in and said, you need to drink this Kool-Aid. Yeah. So can you talk a little bit, as far as you're comfortable sharing your story, your wallflower story?
Sure. Well, as an accountant, I would have to make financial statement presentations, right. which I was comfortable with numbers. But my husband, in his job, I would often accompany him to trade shows or seminars and conferences.
People.
And you would sit at a table for dinner at a conference, and they were all strangers to me. And I would always justify it as the quiet person that I'm just here to observe. And that's how I justified being a wallflower.
That was your little introvert going,
we're good. You know what? I want to be more engaged. I want to be able to talk to people, meet people. Yeah. And this course gave me courage to do that.
That's because nowadays, especially, the emphasis went away for a little while in the 80s and 90s on face-to-face engagement mm-hmm. and networking and all that kind of stuff. And actually, I went back a little far. Probably at the beginning of the 2000s, mm-hmm. There was all this tech. Everybody was excited about tech, and now the emphasis has come back on face-to-face engagement mm-hmm. and networking and building mm-hmm. your business. So if you can't do that, and we started talking about that a little bit as far as a problem and a solution, mm-hmm. I have to network a ton for both of my businesses, mm-hmm. and I'm an introvert. I happen to be lucky that I'm okay speaking I really enjoy speaking in front of crowds. That's never really bothered me. Mm-hmm. One-to-one, that can scare the crap out of me.
Right. And most people, it's the opposite. Yeah. They're fine one-on-one, but to get in front of a group, they can't do it.
Yeah. In front of a group, I'm good to go because it's a group. Mm-hmm. And there's not one person that I have to try and connect with or engage with. Mm-hmm. So this is where I would find this more helpful mm-hmm. on the one-to-one engagement. So is that part of the course as well? It helps build those skills.
It does. So I'll give you a bit of my story.
Sure.
When I first started as an instructor, you build your skills as you instruct. But I did other volunteering as well. in my children's school, I joined parent council.
Oh, I did that too.
The first role I took was treasurer, of course, because I'm an accountant, right? And then you gradually build your confidence and you take on another role. You take on vice chair, co-chair. And then you find yourself being asked to speak in front of 700 people because it's a school opening. And I would say yes to that. And there was a day where I would never have said yes, but it gave me the confidence to say, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then in 2010, I had some health issues myself. And when I was finished all of my treatments, I became a spokesperson for an organization, and I spoke in front of 2,000 people.
Wow!
So you just take on these little things.
Honestly,
because
just
you
gotta chill. Like, I know that's weird, but that's incredible. And I'm having to pause for a moment because the thought of not being able to do those things just because...
I would never have done that if I didn't take this course. I would never have been able to do that.
You wouldn't have the courage to do that.
No.
So you could have done it.
You wouldn't have the comfort level. You just,
right. So it starts to make you wonder what opportunities people are losing, not only in their personal life, right? Because volunteering is your personal life, but in their job or in their, if you're running your own business. I mean, having done this for being an entrepreneur for 2 years, if I wasn't comfortable speaking in front of people and engaging in whatever, I would have shut down 2 months after I started.
Yeah. Even in job interviews. Right? You want to be able to tell your story.
You have to.
Yeah. You have to sell yourself. You have to have that confidence to give an effective presentation. I mean, a job interview is a presentation.
Yep. Agreed.
And in our course, we give you a 4-step formula. It's easy to remember. It's something that you can use whether you're speaking to one person or you're writing a letter or you're making a presentation to a group. Something you can always use.
Excellent. Because we were talking about the problem solution thing again, and one thing I started thinking about, you made the really valid point that if you are uncomfortable with public speaking, you will be that person sitting in that meeting who has those great ideas that never get heard because you don't know how to present them, you don't know how to engage, or you have strong personalities at the table that you're not comfortable voicing that with. And so the impact of that is you're not going to move ahead in the company. When it's time for review, when it's time to decide who's going to make partner, when it's time to assign projects, they're not going to think of you because they've never heard your voice.
Yeah. And it's just frustrating, right? Very frustrating for someone to feel that they're being held back because they just can't express themselves. They just don't have that comfort level to express themselves. Yeah.
So would you consider this almost a form of storytelling?
Absolutely. During the course, you are telling your story, and we give you the formula to tell your story. And the great thing about it is you get to know all your classmates and their stories. So you really form a community within the course itself, and that's what makes it really enjoyable to go for the 10 weeks.
So you also get a network that you can probably connect with and rely on after the course as well. So would you say that you found that with your experience? That you ended up with...
Well, most of my connections were instructors.
Right.
Because I continued my experience with instructing.
Sorry, it's water time.
That's okay.
It is a water time. So what kind of organizations come and take advantage of the fact that this exists in the Hamilton area?
Well, Hamilton Police Services has been a very big supporter of our course.
Which is...
Well, they're in the public all the time, right?
Well, they are, but they don't have the best reputation. God bless you guys. Thank you that you exist. But
we've got instructors that are police officers. They
really?
Really embrace the course, and it helps them further their career. We have had several instructors who are police officers that have really done well in their police careers because of the course. I'm sure it's given them the confidence that they needed. We've had teachers take our course. We have a lot of McMaster students take our course. The business program at MAC is a very big supporter of our course. And that's one of the reasons why we hold it right at McMaster University. We make it easy for the students to take the course there. But you don't have to be a McMaster student to take the course. We find that when we hold the course at MAC, there's a whole mix of students. It's not just McMaster students. You have people from all different backgrounds taking the course.
So what about the MBA course here at DeGroote in Burlington?
We haven't approached them, but I'm sure within the business community at MAC, they're aware of the course. But that's probably a good idea.
Well, I mean,
They have to make presentations, right?
They're kicking ass and taking names if they're getting an MBA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your whole goal is to be heard and seen. And I would imagine I don't have an MBA. But that's very neat. So the McMaster thing is nice because it's central. It's easy to find.
Yeah, it's great.
And so if you go onto the, and it's www.clchamilton.com, you can find all the courses. You can find all the registration pieces and everything that you need.
Yep. We run 3 courses a year. September, January, and April.
Right. And
the second level course we generally run once a year, either September or January. Because you have your prerequisite is CLC 1.
Right.
So you have to have that prerequisite because you use all the same formulas. And we just teach you how to use different tools in making presentations.
So what kind of tangible items? Are there any tangible items that a student comes out with? Are there handouts or books or?
There's a manual.
There's a manual. So that's yours forever?
Yes.
Oh, that's terrific. So then, if you've forgotten something or you're slipping a little bit, are students able to reach back for a certain amount of time? So they've finished the course, done their 10 weeks. Are they able to reach back for a certain amount of time to?
If they want to take the course over again, they can take it again.
Right.
They've got the manual. As long as the manual hasn't changed, we'll let them take the course again
for free. Sorry, that was an involuntary exclamation. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So let me get. I'm having a moment. Let me get this straight. You have trained instructors, 2 to 5. I think is it 2 to 5 instructors?
It's 4 or 5.
4 or 5 instructors per class for 10 weeks that give you one-to-one ongoing training that will help you develop your career, help you move your business forward, help you speak in front of 2,000 people, help you do all those things for $200. And you can go back and do it again for free.
Yes, as long as the manual has.
As long as the manual has, yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Got chills again.
It's great value.
That's a nice jug of Kool-Aid you got going on there.
It is. It's a great course.
And it's all non-pressure, and it's all geared specifically to help people overcome these issues.
Yes.
So not only the fear of public speaking, are there any other things that you've seen come up consistently for students that they've struggled with?
Well, we also promote leadership skills. So there is a project. One of the assignments is to come up with a leadership project because we feel that in order to strengthen your communication skills, you should take on a project in your community, whether it's volunteering at the old age home or becoming a counselor for your child's parent council.
So like I was on that too.
No, volunteer.
Yeah. Sorry, I was on the what's it called?
Parent council.
It's not PT. Is it
parent council?
Parent council. It's not a positive experience.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So that's taking the leadership role, right? Putting yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Giving back to your community.
But is it just? I guess what I'm trying to figure out is when people walk in, what kind of self-talk are they doing that this course helps them overcome? So everybody has a moment where, that point where you turn to your spouse and you say, do these pants make my butt look fat? Everybody's done it.
Yeah.
I do it to my husband on purpose, but, what kind of, when they first walk in, what's the kind of stuff that you're hearing from students that they're there to, I hate to use the word fix, but they're there to overcome or?
Well, they're there to overcome their fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
They're there to strengthen their communication skills.
Right. So they've struggled with telling their story or what have you.
Yeah. And they're there to take on a leadership role or to have the courage to take on a leadership role. So whether that's getting a promotion in the company, they just want to further their career, whether it's feeling comfortable in an interview or doing a presentation at work, perhaps they want to speak at their sister's wedding or make a speech at their sister's wedding or.
See, I never would have thought of something like that. Bless my maid of honor's heart, and I love her to death, and we're friends to this day, but she clutched that glass of wine like it was a life preserver.
Yeah, we encourage them not to drink the wine until after their speech.
It was good. She did a great job. I mean, anyway, we won't talk about that.
We actually even help, we teach you how to introduce and thank a speaker in a very professional manner, how to present an award or a gift. So if you had an anniversary that you wanted to honor your parents and make a presentation to them, we teach you how to do that in a very effective way, in a very sincere, effective way.
So from a personal perspective, I remember my mom in the 80s, I believe, took an assertiveness training course. Because of course she was of the generation where, within your marriage, like the man was right, and my parents were nice people, not knocking them, but it was just a generational thing. So if you have somebody who's in that situation where, there may be, they want to be, I hate to use the word assertive, they want to be more vocal with their partner or what have you. This might be another avenue to be able to strengthen those communication skills. And
assertive is not aggressive, right?
I know, but but it's not assertiveness training, right? It's public, but it can translate into those things.
It does. It may help you become more assertive, not aggressive.
No smacking. They don't teach defense skills. So that's fantastic. Is there anything else? So you said April, so you've got one underway now. So
currently we're running one in Oakville.
Oh, that's fantastic. So where's that happening?
That one is at a parish. I can't remember
that's
which parish, but it's at a parish. It's at a church in Oakville. So again, it's somewhere where we get
but it's just
space
a location.
For free.
Yeah, it's just a location. So.
And I just finished teaching a course at MAC. So, and
nice.
It was fabulous. Yeah. Great course.
That's fantastic. And I think that's one thing that the church situation it's something that every organization who's trying to be effective with their budget and what have you struggles with. And thank goodness we have these types of community places where you can hold courses.
Yes.
It's just getting people over that hump.
There's not a religion. There's no religion in the course. It's just that that's a great facility and they're letting us use it at no cost. So it's a good thing. It just helps keep the cost down for the course.
You might feel thankful at the end because you took it. Because for $200.
That's right.
That's pretty incredible. I'm having a hard time digesting that. That's an incredible value. Incredible value. So is there anything else that you'd like to
No, it's just I encourage everyone to take it. I think it's a skill that we all could hone and get better at. Absolutely. And anyone would benefit taking a public speaking course.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in, Karen.
Having me.
This has been, I've because of knowing Marianne, I've tried to learn a little bit more about it, but honestly, hearing it from you makes a huge difference. Because when you read it, you still kind of go, no, but I would take this. I can speak in front of anybody, right? Yeah. So, but thanks everybody for listening. If you are interested in more information, and you're in the Hamilton area, well, you said Oakville and what have you as well, right? So
we go to Brantford. We've been in Niagara, Grimsby. Not as far as Niagara Falls, but we've been in Grimsby area. But usually it's in the Hamilton surrounding area.
So the Golden Horseshoe?
Absolutely.
So if you're in the Golden Horseshoe area, go on to clchamilton.com. All of the information is there. It's a really easy website to navigate. Gives instructions, contact information. You can call and talk to Frank and register and get the history. And hopefully you'll be lucky enough to have Karen as one of your instructors.
I'd love to.
So it'd be fantastic. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Karen, for coming.
Thank you.